What's going on, guys? Welcome to another R&R with the Lords. We got pretty much a standard thing going on with Zoom. Um, the Our other thing wasn't really working that well. It's like blinking, and I wasn't gonna risk like putting it on there so far. So we'll just do this. We do have some announcements that we're gonna make in terms of the show, but
hmm
right now, we don't really got to talk about any of that. So welcome to the R&R with Lords. We talk about entertainment, TV shows, and anime. What's going on, King?
I am doing fantastic, sir. If I knew that we were going to be this broad, I need to turn the lights on my shelves. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Okay. All right, there we go. It's good now. So, we got some stuff for you guys, man. We got some stuff for you. We have been gone for a week. I was going through some stuff, but now we are back. We got some. Obviously, you guys see the topics. We see it a little bit. We've watched a little bit today. But anyway, we first thing I want to talk about, King, is I want to talk about Attack on Titan recap. You have officially watched the first season, and you're relatively far into the second season. We're going to start the reactions back up probably here in the next couple days. I am going to probably no life the Demon Slayer because I've been meaning to get to it. I've just been so busy.
You saw the thing I sent you, right?
Yeah, yeah. So,
It's hilarious.
what is your opinions on the first season of Attack on Titan?
Well, let's start off slow. I didn't know what to expect, being that this is a highly touted, highly coveted anime. You know, um, I really, I really picked people early on that either fell off or died or were too weak. And I thought those characters was going to be something phenomenal, and they set you up in a way that they make you, or they guide you in a way to liking certain characters and thinking those characters are going to be a force of nature, and that's not true. You find out very early on these guys got issues, or there's people that's not who they're supposed to be, or um, it's just so much espionage going on behind these walls, and it's you don't know who's who and what's what, and everybody has secrets, and the people that you think are on the level aren't. It's one of the most enticing animes that I've ever watched. It has so many layers to it, just like how they have so many layers to the walls, right? The inner wall, the outer wall, and all this rose wall and all this other stuff. So this whoever sat there and thought about this thing, man, they set it up perfectly. So the first season, did it live up to the expectations that I had for it? Because you guys set it up there really lofty. It kind of underperformed my expectations. Now, that's not to say that season two didn't, right now, is at the middle of overachieving, making up for that. And then I don't even know how you suffered. You said you suffered some years waiting for season two to show up
Mm-hmm.
from season one.
It was like 2 years, maybe three.
Yeah. So, and I guess that really had a lot to do with the writing of it, right? Like which direction they was going to go. They probably had to go intricately into every episode and see where they hid certain characters, where certain characters could come back, and how they can fool you and triple change stuff. So it probably had a lot to do with the writing of where they was going to take the seasons next. Because I'm going to tell you that last episode where uh that Titan, she encased herself in that amber. Oh man, it was kind of crazy. And to find out who she was, and she was not going to go underground, and she just did fall for the traps. And then she had a whole little blade system that she used to activate her Titan abilities. Oh man, it was a real fun ride. So like I said, it underperformed slightly to the expectations because you guys are talking about top tier anime, top number one or number two anime in the world to you, and to me, it's close. Like again, I told you I'm that one-on-one combat dude. So when they do have those fights, it's like wow, it's like bombastic, right? So and I like those one-on-one fights. So yeah,
I would
that's what
say
I like.
there wasn't a lot of one-on-one fights between like Titans in the first season, but they
No,
remedy
Titans are
that.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's times Aaron's fight multiple Titans.
yeah.
So
Well, when I got a chance to see Levi versus the female Titan, and I got a chance to see
that was probably the highlight of the first one,
yeah
first
him
season.
show his
When
powers.
you
Yeah,
finally see that Levi ain't all talk. Like,
nah, he's about that life.
yeah,
Like,
and what's crazy is like you see a lot more from him. Right now, he's injured in season two, a lot of season two,
yeah.
so he doesn't really do a whole lot. But I would say you'll see a little bit of him towards the end of season two, but for the most part, you see he comes back full force in season one. I mean, season three, and he's pretty
Okay,
much
yeah.
there for the
Until
remainder
he's
of
like
season three.
he's injured, mainly the most of the time.
Yeah, so keep in mind, guys, if you guys want to see a lot of King's reactions to that, all you have to do is go to the Patreon. It's right there. Just put it in the majority of season one's up there because he got to about, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes before the female Titan and
Yeah.
Levi, and all that's been is up there, and a good amount of season two. Like I think we only got like maybe 2 or 3 episodes left, and
Don't
then
forget. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and then he'll be going on to season three. He actually reacted to the trailer for season two as well. And then I'm going to probably no live Demon Slayer here soon because I mentioned like every week it seems like more and more crazy stuff's happening on that show. So
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing what that's going on. But we'll go ahead and what was you gonna say, King?
No, I'm just going to tell everybody that's here, the Patreon has a whole lot to offer, and we're going to start dumping a crap ton of content into the Patreon. Also, the console that we're going to give away, we will be giving it away to to the Patreon. So we're trying to have everybody engage into the Patreon and reward everybody that way through the Patreon. So that and those people that are in the Patreon, not saying that everybody doesn't support the Patreon, is just like an extra level of support. So I feel that we should definitely go the extra mile in that support,
Yeah,
and because we do put out free content, for YouTube, for our subscribers, but the Patreon people need to get a crap ton of benefit. So console, yeah, exclusive content like the Attack on Titan stuff, yes, and more stuff, like Demon Slayer, what you did, Chainsaw Man, and a
the
whole
whole
bunch of
first
other stuff.
season of Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
So you had me watch a movie, man. We're gonna go ahead and segue to it. It's called Mother.
Yes.
So I want to hear your overall opinion on Mother first. Give the people the 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 play by play when it comes to Mother. Jennifer Lopez in it.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of Jennifer Lopez,
I'm not
right?
either. This is one of her better movies I've ever seen. You had
And
me watch
I'm
a
gonna tell you
garbage
why.
movie like Shotgun Wedding a couple months ago,
Yes.
and that was horrible. But I didn't like that movie. But I was a lot more of a fan of this movie. I almost
Me too.
didn't finish Shotgun Wedding. I actually finished this movie. Like,
Yeah, this movie sets up a lot of stuff. So you have, Ghost from Power that's in this movie, and the movie starts off with a
great
bang.
actor.
Yeah, yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. I mean, you know what's funny? Like every scene that he was in with her, he stole the scene,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what. Even when he was dead, not moving, he stole the scene. Um, yeah, I'm sorry I spoiled that for you guys. It's on Netflix. Um, but this movie, I really don't like Jennifer, and my wife is a huge fan of Jennifer Lopez. oh God, anything this lady does, she got to do it. And, she sees herself as like simpatico with Jennifer Lopez. So I'm like, okay, let me watch this. And very early on, I found out, yo, this movie is going to turn into The Last of Us, like season 2 at some point in time. But she's like this ex-military sniper that dated these arms dealers that had a conflict, and uh she happens to get pregnant, but she wants to turn informant to turn these dudes over to the government. And these dudes are some of the most badass dudes on the planet. And she's involved and intertwined with these guys. And you don't know who's the daddy to this baby, but
What's funny is they never tell you. Like,
yeah, man. They trying to kill her. They trying to kill her. And I think the reason why I like this film more than all her other films, even the one where she was the abuse wife that she took revenge on her ex-husband, and I can equate that movie closer to this one. She's really G.I. Jane. She's hard nosed. Her body looks phenomenal. She's in phenomenal shape. For her age, she is, and that's not age shaming. I'm not in phenomenal shape for my age, but this woman here, she's taken the time that she is afforded uh, with the luxury that she has, and she has fine tuned her body, and it made this movie more believable because of the shape this woman is in. She is in CrossFit shape, like phenomenal shape. And I'm not talking about, from a guy Googling, type of shit. I'm talking about, bro, she, like, the serrations in her back when she's leaning over the edge talking to the guy at one of the ballroom scenes. I'm like, this woman is a monster, an absolute monster in the gym. I know she does everything for her body. Her body makes her money. Her money is there and is being shown. So it made it more believable with the stuff that they was asking her to do, as far as being a sharpshooter, as far as being as ruthless as she was.
you could
And
tell that in terms of the movie, that's where she was comfortable, all behind that
yeah,
sniper rifle. Like, because they had her behind that sniper rifle multiple times in the movie. Like, and if
yes,
you notice, the biggest thing she taught the individual is to shoot.
yeah.
Like,
She taught her what her trade is. What I
but
didn't
she
like
ain't
about
no
the film.
slouch when it comes to fighting. Like, she could
Oh,
do
she can
that,
fight too.
but you
Yeah,
could tell that. What I like about this is the realization that she's a woman.
yeah,
Like, she knows that she's gonna come across bigger people. Because if you notice, when she's training her, she says that multiple times. If you got a knife, you're up close. They're
yep,
most likely he's gonna be bigger than you. You don't stop until he can't keep going.
exactly. And you keep on hitting, and you keep on striking. What I didn't like about the film, did you ever notice when they had the one-on-ones? Like, they'd do this tunnel vision type of camera that blurs the outside lenses, like,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only focus on what the camera is having you focus on. I hated that, and it did that multiple times. I thought that was a failure on the director's part to show that. But at the same time, this is a movie about a female sniper who's in the top 2% of her class. So that gives you the whole sniper type of scope that he was trying to intertwine into the film, which it felt kind of flat for me. But I understand the premise behind it. So the thought process is give them that sniper type of scope when you have these meaningful moments. And I thought it actually took away from the moments because the blur effect was a little bit too much. But again, the film was really good for me. It's one of her best films, in my opinion. How did you feel about it?
I liked it. I thought it was. At first, I was kind of iffy because I saw her in it, and I'm not the biggest fan of Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
But after I started watching it, man, I can't remember enough in that the other movie she was in that you were referring
yeah, with
to.
her ex-husband. Yeah,
This movie just completely shits on that movie.
yeah,
Like,
hit a blue bird too.
it's so good because what I like about her is, like, in this movie is they never, you could tell that she was an expert in things, but they always made it realistic in a real life situation. Like, she wasn't in there fighting 20, 30 people. Like, did you notice that when her and the dude from Ghost invaded that place, he's the one that was on foot in there, and she was in the back shooting people. And because to me, I feel like they always put situations and stuff where it's like, it's not that it's like a Fast and the Furious kind of situation. Ironically, someone put that in there where the stuff can happen, but it's very, very unlikely. You know what I'm saying?
He said Money Train, Anaconda, Selena. Come on, King. Don, watch this movie and tell me if those movies don't compare to this movie.
It was good. I would actually, I know I'm jumping it. I give it a four popcorn. Like,
you gave it 4?
It was good. I liked it. I really liked it. I felt like a lot of the scenarios made sense. I felt like, they
okay. So all right.
Clearly this was like a story about her and the individual in there, and I felt like even though that was the highlight of the story, they never made it the prime example. Like, it was always this is a story about her protecting this individual, but it never went too far about that situation.
Yeah, it was never like the goal. I give it 3 popcorn. There was too many plot holes in it. Like, okay, when her and Ghost gets to Cuba, and they get into that bar fight type of thing, and she's chasing the tarantula, and if you notice it, the scene, she goes in one door. She cuts in one door, and Ghost goes around the back. Ghost shows up. When he shows up, literally, this has been a couple of seconds. He shows up. His whole face is scratched up like he's been in a huge fight. We didn't know that he was in a huge fight, but that's what his face looks like. And then, he's fighting. He turns around. He's fighting. And my wife laughs at me because he gets stabbed in his shoulder blade, right in the back, right here in the back. First of all, you stab me in the shoulder blade, fight's over. I don't care what the hell we doing. You stab me in the shoulder. That's a moving part, people. That's a moving part. This is the part that moves. That arm is dead. But this guy goes running down the block at least 20 miles, catching up to this guy that was all coke, running through the whole Cuba. It was just huge plot holes in certain spots, and how did they notice the landmines in long distance snowy areas? That was a plot hole. How come the wolf didn't attack in the manner that it was supposed to attack when the kids is present? That was a plot hole. How come? It was just so many different plot holes, and then the antagonist in this, and it was 2 of them, they were able to find her at every turn. She pops her head up a slightly every turn.
That's one thing I didn't like, how just because she gave her name, they found her that fast.
Just like that.
Yeah. Little things like that. I feel you. I guess the reason I didn't hit it too much is because I always felt like the movie didn't highlight that stuff because that's not what the movie was about. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It gets 3 popcorn from me.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah, it was just certain plot holes I just couldn't overlook, but I do feel like this is one of her better films, opposed to that shotgun wedding crap that I had you watch.
Right, so, yeah, that movie. So next week I want you to watch this movie.
What's that?
It is this movie.
Number 1 that was blurry as hell. Missing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like have you ever seen Unfiltered?
Nah.
It's like a website kind of movie where they're always unfriended. Did you ever see that?
I don't know. I think that was the one with the cell phone thing.
Yeah, it's the kind of movie where it's like they're always getting the shots are always like shots from a computer or shots from a cell phone. Like,
I think I saw that one, the unfriended thing. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a movie like that, but they kind of took it like a unique way. Like normal time, it's like some kind of like entity, or it's like a hacking group doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this one, it is about her. It has what's her name from it. I know Will Smith isn't married to her, but I feel like she was in a movie with Will Smith. Let me see. You know who I would talk if I said her name. Missing Netflix. What's this chick's name? She's a very popular actress. Her name is Nia Long.
Nia Long?
Nia Long. She's in it.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
the
yeah,
mother.
yeah. Will Smith was that was his wife in one of her films. I think was it in Bad Boys? Probably so.
Maybe. But so pretty much what it's about is her, she has a daughter, and she has a, a boyfriend, and they go to vacation to Colombia. And you know how it is, typical teenage daughter. I'm doing things the way I want to do things. You send me an emergency fund money, because she sends her an emergency fund money. Things go wrong. This is the money you use. Instead of doing that, she buys booze. So but she's supposed to pick her up Saturday. She goes Saturday. Her mom never came home. And the movie is about her looking to find her mom. And she's using like the internet. She's going to like those live camera feeds, trying to like find like
pieces together.
Piece where she was the whole time, because they've been sending her texts the whole time they've been there, and then she finds out that there's a certain
don't tell
point,
me the plot.
No, but there's a certain point where they stop sending it. But you know how she's sitting there drinking. She's not noticing that they stopped. Like, she noticed they didn't send it, but she didn't notice why, like, they're missing, because they're not sending it. So,
all right, so just let me walk into it and see what I see from it.
Yeah, so
I'll definitely check out Missing.
I looked, and we'll talk about that next month. But I had to go get my tablet because I forgot what it was called, because I just couldn't sleep last night that well, and I watched it. So let's get to the majority of the reason why I would say people's hair is this white man can't jump. What's funny is there wasn't a whole lot of like marketing push behind this, because I didn't even know this was out till it was on Hulu.
No, it wasn't. It was more push about what was that House Party remake that I got to see, that somebody said it was garbage. Yeah, I think it's out. I don't know. It's on some streaming device someplace. I'm pretty sure we can find it. Pretty sure. Somebody said it's garbage, and I don't like nobody to chew my food for me, so I'm going to chew that steak, and maybe that steak is trash, but
you're gonna find out if it's trash.
I'm gonna find out.
Someone's not gonna tell you. You're gonna find out.
I don't care about anybody's opinion. Yes, I do, but I'm gonna see it myself. But this film, I didn't really want to see this film, because I love the first White Man Can't Jump. And I went into this film with such a bias, man. Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, they made a cult classic. A cult classic. Those two guys. And to have White Man Can't Jump 2 or remake to White Man Can't Jump and don't have them in it at all.
Yeah, it could have been a cameo or something. Like, it would have been cool if it was like, this was down the line, and like, because I can't remember like a whole lot of the plots to White Man Can't Jump, the original one.
It was just a hustle film.
Yeah, so it would be cool if like, at the end there's that dude that was hosting the event. If that would have been them hosting the event.
Exactly. I mean, it could have been anything.
Those people probably were out of their price range. Like, realistically.
Probably so, because this did look like it was.
I didn't really see any noticeable people in the whole movie.
Nah.
So.
What's up? Except for Zavala.
Yeah.
Why has Zavala got to keep,
Yeah, he's crazy. Is ever since that man passed away, it's like in every movie he's passing away.
He got to get the guns. So I'm like, no, Zavala. No, not this. Not again, Zavala. How many times I got to see this guy disappear?
It's sad.
This movie is very good for race relations.
I like how they picked at, right? Stereotypes and stuff throughout the whole
Oh
movie.
yes.
He was sitting. The white dude's like, man, I thought we said we gonna stop doing the racial stuff. Like,
He said you can say way more stuff. That you have a
he's like,
way
I love. He
bigger
was like, he's like, what do
vocabulary
I
out
have to
there than I
say?
do.
He's like, I ain't saying it, but you know what you can say.
Like you can say a whole bunch of stuff I can't say. It was good to see. A lot of people might need this film. A lot of people with anger issues, not knowing that you have anger issues, you might need to see this film. And they show you lying to your spouse on, no matter how small you may think it is, still lying to your spouse or lying to people. And it was just a realistic look on, you could be very efficient in one sector of your life, with your children, but be very deficient in another sector in your life with your kids. And it was just a moment of reflection. Are you arming your kids with the tools that they're going to need to handle life, and not just a particular aspect of life, but just life in general? Are you going to be real enough with your children that they're emotionally stable, handling life? And we got a chance to see people's motivations and goals. Sometimes if the universe or God, whatever you believe in, is putting you in one area and it's not working that way, maybe you might need to change your method up and go into the area that, God or the universe, whatever you believe in, is pushing you in. And ultimately, they made it to where they needed to go, but the journey getting there, and this movie takes them on that journey, even though it's a small movie, even though they fast forward a lot of things to get to an end. It felt to me like a Disney movie, to be honest with you. It felt like Disney needed to pick this movie up and give it a bigger budget to do what it needed to do. But without that big budget, Hulu was able to back it enough to give it a believable beginning, middle, and end. And after I shed my bias of a White Man Can't Jump, the first one, I was able to embrace this film for what it was, opposed to what it wasn't.
I like how they gave the main characters time to shine. Like, they had a beginning, middle, and end to their character development. I really liked how they did that. I feel like this is a classic example. Is like, if you don't like this movie, I understand. But is it that the movie's bad, or is it that you hold the original so to a high standard that you can't see a movie be doing anything remotely different than the way that movie was done?
Well,
I think both characters did a fantastic job.
I felt like the old guy. I think this film is the first time I felt like a kid get off my lawn type of, thing. And I couldn't shed the bias that I had until almost towards the end. The bias that I had towards this movie because of how good Wesley Snipes and how good Woody Harrelson was, or how good my memory thought it was. Right? I might go back and watch that film and be like, oh my God, it was utter garbage compared to this film, right?
And I wouldn't be surprised if they try to reach out to Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, but like they knew that they're like, even though Wesley Snipes is a lower of an echelon than he used to be, he still can, him and that dude and Woody know they could walk up there and be like, yo, we probably want half the budget. Just us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, and Woody just did that movie with the mentally challenged children with the basketball stuff. They're still capable actors, right?
It would have been nice to at least get them to do a cameo. Like,
Yeah,
it would be cool if they could have like one of like they did like a pickup game with them in like the in the gym or once. Like,
yeah,
just
right.
something
They're
small,
sitting at
like,
something. Or Woody owns the gym, and
you know how they could have done it. You know how they did that one where they're like, we're gonna let you pick our people.
Yeah, and they pick them.
And it would have been, even if they didn't pick them, if they were just in the bleachers and they said, yo, and he's like, dude, I'm too old for this. Like,
Yo, tell me the dude with the shades didn't have you dead. That dude with the shades, if you touch him, I'll kill you. Don't touch my shades. That dude had me dead. He wasn't listening to anybody. He could shoot his butt off too. Um, it was.
Did,
I got to give it full popcorn. I gotta give it full
did
popcorn
did you see?
because of how it how it
You know what
ended.
I really enjoyed when the white dude dunked and he's like, dude, we all know white dudes can dunk. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
it,
Yeah,
it was fun. I think I'd give it a 4 too. Like
yeah,
I know a lot of people. The thing is like I ask you to look at this with a clean perspective and not filtered because of the original one. Nothing. People need to stop looking at these like remakes that they're taking away from the original. No, they're giving a different perspective of a newer audience and a younger audience. That's all they're doing.
yeah.
Um, you
But
know,
this is the first time I felt watching this film like get off my lawn, kids. Like this is the first time. And I usually go into films with unbiased, like, or with whatever preconceived notions that I do have going into the film. It doesn't cloud my emotions watching the film. But for some weird reason, this movie had me emotionally invested in the older movie, and I wasn't giving it a chance in the beginning. I just literally kept putting up a block. And I said, yo, I gotta let this go. This is not Wesley Snipes is not gonna show up. Woody Harrelson is not gonna show up. All right, they're not going to be in this film, and you got to start looking at these characters for what they're going through and what they're trying to bring to the
and what
screen.
I like is they gave them different things that they were fighting for them in the original one.
Yes.
They didn't just pick like the same struggles. Like they showed like, look, like these people they got different skin color, but they going through similar stuff. Like,
Yeah, they had, everybody goes through their little financial things, but stuff started hitting the fan, and then they had to rely on what God gave them. That talent, their skill, and that skill and that talent carried the day. And at the same time, there was a moral behind it. You can run from whatever your destiny is, but your destiny is going to find you. Either you're going to, bend the knee to your destiny, or you're going to keep bucking up against it. And what happens, man, when you do that, you're going to run through a rough patch in life. And they both ran through rough patches in this life because they did not want to accept whatever the universe kept telling them, or whatever they believe in.
okay, so I think that's pretty much what it goes for the show. Now we are going to be moving the show to Patreon. I think what I'm going to do, King, I think how you thinking, because you can make it public on Patreon. I think we can make this public on Patreon. That
Right.
way, people are at least on the page. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And once they feel it, then they can be like, you know what, I want more of the stuff behind this.
Right.
So it won't be on the YouTube channel. I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after, because we're trying to focus this YouTube channel on ILP stuff. We're trying to grow ILP as a brand. I'm going to put this on, on that. Now I don't know if we're gonna just rework how it is, or we're gonna keep it exactly how it is going forward on there. But it's gonna be one of those things where if you don't have to be a member of the Patreon, but you go over there, you feel comfortable after a certain amount of time, then you can just go ahead and sign up, because we do have a lot of content over there, and we're going to put
Yeah.
more up going forward. But yeah, King, I want you to watch that Missing, and
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Missing.
there's another one I want you to watch. I just don't know the name right now.
Okay, well, you have to get the one that I have to give you, and I'm going to figure that out today. But I'm going to go watch the Fast and the Furious, because next week we have Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse Part 2 or whatever. That's the Miles Morales joint that's showing up. And this week,
Oh,
Wednesday,
so I want you to watch Unfriended Dark Web 2.
Unfriended Dark Web 2. I thought I saw that, man.
It's about the dude who gets the laptop.
I think I saw that, but anyway, I'll take it. Part 2? No, I saw
Yeah,
Unfriended.
there's an
1.
Unfriended, and then there's a second one called Dark Web.
Okay, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
I would rather you watch that actually than Missing. You can watch both of them because Missing's a little relatively new, but I
Yeah.
think you would really like, because Unfriended is a good movie. Unfriended Dark Web is kind of crazy. Like,
I'll definitely check it out. I gotta go see that Fast and the Furious though.
yeah, I do too. I've just
I
been
wanted
so
to,
out of it.
yeah, I wanted to see the George Foreman film. I wanted to see a couple of films, and I didn't get a chance to see the Evil Dead. I wanted to see that. So my wife and I this Friday definitely we're gonna go see the Fast and the Furious, and try to at least get in another movie. Before this long weekend. Because this is Memorial Day weekend, and it's gonna be a good weekend. Hopefully.
All right, so you tell me what movie you just hit it up to me on Facebook. And,
I got you.
I'll watch it. But I appreciate everyone coming through. We had like a strong 40 something in here. Like I said, next week, I don't know if it'll be next week, maybe the week after. It will be on the Patreon, but it will be public, so you don't have to pay for the Patreon. But I do feel that after a couple weeks, months of you watching it over there, because that's my goal at this point. It's like, you over
No,
there.
you know what's gonna be behind the Patreon?
What?
The Flash. Flash.
Yeah, well, see,
Ezra Miller.
the base show R&R is going to be not behind the wall,
Yeah.
but I want, but the spoiler
reactions,
casts,
the
those are going to
spoilers.
be behind the wall.
Yeah. So because it gives you
Did
a
you
little
see
bit
all
more
the
insight.
people talking positive about the Flash? It's ridiculous. Like,
Well, my boy Quino, he went to go see it yesterday, and he hit me up. He lives in Vegas, and he was like, "Mad much?" And he shows me the ticket. He's like, "Boom!" Shows me the ticket. I'm like, "Yo!" I said, "I'm so envious right now."
when's it
And I
come
really
out?
want to go see this. June 6th.
Okay,
June 6th.
man, I'll be in L.A. No, that's
You'll
the
be in
day
LA.
before L.A. That's the day before I go to L.A.
I'll see it. I'll see it. And then I got to go to Play NY that
Me
Saturday.
and Cog might just go watch it that Wednesday.
Yo, I didn't put in my whatchamacallit for Play NYC. I didn't even get the link for my media.
I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But I appreciate everyone for coming through here. We're gonna talk. We'll see you next week. Keep in mind,
Peace.
Addict Show tomorrow. Unfortunately, it falls on the same time as the PlayStation Direct, so the Addict Show. Will
What
be
time is
pretty
the
much,
PlayStation Direct, sir?
I don't know. It's the showcase is at 5, I think, or 4. So that we'll be reacting to the Addict Show will be reacting to that, and then we will go straight into the talking over it. I'm not doing 2 shows, so I'm just combining them. It's like I did with the Nintendo Direct a couple months ago. I don't got time for all that. So that is
you
the
might
Addict
get
Show.
an appearance of General King. We don't know, but I'm gonna tell you right now: if that PlayStation showcase is not what it's supposed to be, we go hold the line.
So this is Lord Addict and King, and Lord King David. We will see you later. Actually, let me see if we can find someone to send the round to.
Yeah, we got to start sending everybody from the realm to Fawn's show right after
No, well, Fonz isn't.
on Sundays, man.
Oh yeah, Sundays. But the problem
Yeah,
is
Sunday.
he most of the time he's like 20, 30 minutes after our show. I'm gonna send you over there to CB Gray. He's a Destiny YouTuber. Go in there, say I hope he sent you. You guys probably don't care about that, but give him